Welcome to the football show on PLZ Soccer's YouTube channel. I'm Peter Martin, Tam McManus, Alan Ruff and Alison Kipkano with us in the studio, Ruffy, because obviously Ali's been out running non-stop and is now twice as non-stop for you, and now she's getting back into the full fitness.
Any distances are we doing?
Still short 5Ks. My legs are sore, that's all. I dared to mention in this office.
Is there a 5K coming up?
No.
She's just back out there, Tom.
There was a Glasgow one last week. Was that 10K?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 10K. That's 5K too much. In fact, I would go as far as to say 7K too much at the moment.
Only the Glaciers one round about Christmas, a 5K. Santa Dash.
The Santa Dash. Yeah.
I've done that before.
Yeah. But are you up for that for maybe December?
We'll see.
Right, okay. Fantastic. Good to have fit Ali here. Ruffy, obviously at his age, just contemplates 3 or 4 sports nowadays. And Tam, yeah, you're golfing mad. We've got lots of football to talk about. Rangers too good for Steaua Bucharest. Hearts with an impressive win over Omonoia Nicosia. Got the Edinburgh Derby to look forward to, as well as the New Firm Derby. That's on the Saturday. So much to talk about. Before we start talking about some of the European games that have taken place over the last couple of days, on behalf of everyone here at the Football Show, we'd like to offer our prayers, thoughts and condolences to the Callaghan family. Tommy Callaghan, one of the Celtic greats, sadly has passed away at the age of 78. He was an unused sub in the 1970 European Cup final, but since signing from Dunfermline in 1968. So many Celtic people will appreciate the fact he made 264 appearances for the club, 6 league titles, including in the 74 season that got the 9 in a row for Celtic. He's 5 Scottish Cups and 3 League Cups as well. And I know his son, Thomas, who will be absolutely devastated, Ruffy. Our thoughts with all the family.
Yeah, Tommy, or Tid, as he was called, way back then. Although the Celtic, a lot of big players, first team players. Tid was always running about the squad, and a big player when he came on. You know, he was very well respected by the Celtic supporters, and anybody who met him, he was just fun-loving guy, good fun to be with, and yeah, they'll be sadly missed. Yeah,
and just on that little footnote to that, I remember him as well because he worked for the Phoenix Group selling cars. As well, you know, because so many of you guys who played at the highest level would never have needed to work again in the current climate. But, you know, he had a job after that and did very well at that as well.
Yeah, as I say, it was fun to be with, you know, old school, you know, footballer. You know, they enjoyed themselves because they had the ability to play football and they were doing something they loved doing, and he embroiled into that with the rest of the Celtic team.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, he'll be sadly missed by so many people. He also played for Dunfermline and Clydebank. So, let's talk about football, the game that Tommy Callaghan loved and we all love talking about. Rangers 4-0. Too good, Ali, for Steaua Bucharest.
Yeah, I think so. I think the kind of performance that they would have been craving, given the week that it was and the noise that had built up around the defeat and the aftermath of the defeat to Kilmarnock on Sunday. So I think it maybe just buys a little bit of time, enables a reset. I do think they got a wee bit lucky, that opening goal. I think Jack Buckland would have been delighted that he got away with one there. And I do wonder what the tone of the evening might have been had that been allowed to stand. I still think Rangers would probably have been too strong. I thought Bucharest offered very little. I know that they've got a derby coming up this weekend, and there'd been all kind of talk before the game that they were going to rest key players, which they had seemed to do when we saw the team lines yesterday. But from Rangers' perspective, I think they'll just be delighted, 1, with the win, and 2, with the performance that gave them the points.
I think Ali summed it up perfectly. Jack Buckland, I don't know how they gave that as a foul.
Yeah, I don't even think Ruffy could argue that one, and he's firmly in the goalkeeper's union. Yeah, just dallied on the ball, and the boys nicked in and nicked it off him, and I thought it was a perfectly good goal. And Alison said that could change the complexity of the game. I think that the Rangers had to score the first goal. I think the fans are just waiting at the minute, you know, to jump on the players, jump on the manager. That didn't count, and it was a key time in the game, first 5 or 10 minutes. So, but after that, I thought Rangers were excellent. Rangers, it's like 2 different teams. the team that plays here in Scotland and then the team that plays in Europe. You know, they were fantastic away to Malmo as well, and then superb last night. You know, they're a decent side. They're no mugs, and to beat them 4-0 is a great result for Rangers. So I just think the consistency of the performances is something that will be annoying the Rangers fans. Why can they play like that in Kilmarnock, away to Kilmarnock, and then hammer Steaua Bucharest at home? It's just like two different teams. So they need consistency. They need, because they've got some big games coming up.
Yeah, and the manager himself freely admits, I think, the pain and the criticism that comes with losing had an effect on everyone at Rangers.
Yeah, of course, but we were all sick of losing. The players, like I said after the games, the players, the staff, everybody was disappointed about that, and we wanted to stand up all together, and that's what they've been doing. So it's good also that it was in this way, because it's in Europe. Somebody told me also it's more than 20 years.
Yeah, good win for them. Sometimes, and I can't quite work him out, sometimes Czerny looks as if he's a world beater. You know, and I think to myself, I think there's a player in there. I don't know if he's one of these players that needs a cuddle and told how good he is and how good he can be. But last night he scored 2 good goals and obviously set one up as well, Ruffy.
Well, he certainly came with a pedigree of being a European player. You know, he scored goals in European competitions, and he is. You know, I think Rangers were crying out for a wide player, somebody who was going to do something a wee bit special, get supporters off their seats. Ryan Kent tried that to a certain extent as well, but certainly the 2 goals that he got, and to come back for the miss, and that, I think everybody remembers that miss he had in the last European game. Yeah. So it's well done to him, you know, to come back. But as you have all touched on, I mean, that's the first time I've heard a gasp in a stadium when they scored in the first minute. You could feel the whole Rangers crowd going on, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
All credit. After that, they just steamrolled them.
Yeah, good win for Rangers. And as we mentioned there, it's been a good week for Scottish football as far as the coefficient is concerned, and none better than Hearts, who just seem like a completely and utterly different side. I can't quite work it out, Ali. 2-0 over Omonoia Nicosia.
Yeah, and I thought well worth it. I thought they were excellent from what I've seen from the highlights that I saw. I saw bits of the game last night, but I just thought they looked aggressive, purposeful. Blair Spittle, all of a sudden, you're seeing the player that you were seeing last season at Motherwell. I think that free role helps him. I think I thought he was excellent throughout, but I think Hearts just look like a different outfit entirely, full of belief, full of confidence, full of energy, full of running, creativity, goals. I think you'd fear the worst for Hibs on Sunday.
Yeah, we're going to touch on that a little later on in the programme, but again, yeah, absolutely. Just you might as well kick him while he's down. As far as the players are concerned, I mean, to a man, they just seem to be responding to the message, which is close them down, you know, do the high press, put the yards in. He had Spittle in a kind of a different position, take shots, have a go.
Yeah, I watched the game yesterday. I thought Hearts were superb. Unfortunately, coming up to the game on Sunday, they've got a real bounce off the new manager. Sometimes you get that, sometimes you don't. Hearts have really got it. You know, 4-0 at the weekend and then 2-0 midweek. They got into the Derby game on Sunday. Probably with a lot more confidence than the Hibs team are going into it. I thought Alan Forrest was superb as well. He's a player I've always liked. He's been in and out at Hearts. You know, he doesn't really play a lot. I think he maybe playing the weekend after that performance. You know, scored a great goal. And Spittle as well, as we said, he's took a little bit of time to settle into a bigger club, but he's shown his quality now. So, no, I think Hearts go into the game on Sunday in great fettle, big confidence, and it'll just be up to Hibs to try and take care of them at the weekend. Yeah,
of course, Tynecastle's a special place where it's going right. I think the manager has realised that as well.
Yeah, it was I loved it. What a great night! Just loved it. Fantastic. You know, they got right behind us. I think, you know, it's our responsibility to make sure that we lift them and give them energy, and I felt we did that early in the game, and that was our plan, you know. We know they like to build up and play, and we thought, you know, no, we're at home, this is our pitch, this is our rules, you play our game and we're coming after you, and that's what we did.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go about it. If you're at home Certainly they deserve great credit for it. It's amazing the transformation with the manager though, isn't it?
Yeah, but that happens sometimes when a new manager comes in. Obviously, it's a new voice. You know, he's got new ideas. The players hopefully buy into everything he's done. You know, and it looks as if they have. You know, you've talked about the Blair Spittle change. You know, he's got bags of ability. To give him a free role is a great idea. But apart from that, he's got players there that weren't really producing, and whatever he's saying to them, they're buying into, and they'll be looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah, just before we talk about derbies and of course the matches that are taking place over Saturday and Sunday in the Scottish Premiership, one other game that I think we've got to cut across: Celtic 0, Atalanta 0. I might as well read this out, Ali. Sam says, Peter raging after Celtic pull off the most scintillating European result for a Scottish side in the past 10 years. Sam, I can tell you I'm far from raging. What I am...
I'm going to apologise to Brendan Rodgers
Well,
right now.
the great thing about it from my point of view is I was waiting for somebody daft enough like yourself to jump in there with that line, and you're right on cue. Ali, he changed his tactics, and full marks to the manager and full marks to the players. Because I mentioned right after the game, that's the best performance I've seen from a Brendan Rodgers side. They worked their socks off. They were banked 4-5-1.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what you had was everyone buying into what you wanted to do. Like, you had everyone doing their jobs, working their socks off. I would say they did get lucky at points in the game. That's not to take anything away from the performance. I think they were very resilient. I think they defensively sound against a very, very good team. However, when you look at the stats, Atalanta had more shots on target than Dortmund did. I just think the fact that they got a bit of luck in certain moments of the game. However, I think what they had was everyone buying into the plan, everyone sticking to it. I don't think you saw Callum McGregor go past the halfway line at any point in that game, whereas what you were seeing over in Germany with Celtic still trying to go and push forward at times. I thought it was far more measured, much more controlled, maybe just trying to hit on the break when they did have isolated opportunities within the game. But I thought they were excellent. I thought it was a huge point for them, not just in terms of what it may do now when it comes to qualification for the latter stages of the group, but also psychologically. I think it was very important for Celtic to come away with a strong performance and result on the back of that hiding out in Germany.
Yeah, I thought it was a massive point, Tam. And I know we were joking about it, but he changed the tactics. They had a strict rule of, yes, press, but press at the right times. And if that ball is lost quickly, make sure that there's no gaps between the four at the back and the midfield.
Yeah, they sat in and they played a little bit in the counter-attack, and Celtic have got the personnel to play that way. You know, Kuhn, there was one in the first half, they gave the boy 5 or 6 yards and ran by him. You know, he's very quick. You know how quick Maeda is, and Big Ida's quick as well. He's got pace as well, so they're perfectly set up to go and play that way in European football away from home. I thought the back four was tremendous. The goalkeeper, I thought, big boy Trusty's been... I don't think he's been great so far. I think he's looked shaky. By far his best game. I thought he was the best player in the part. Scales beside him, superb. 2 guys that have looked, shaky in recent weeks. 2 fullbacks. Johnson get booked early doors, and I thought he's up against it. Defended really, really soundly, and they did get lucky at times. But you're playing the Europa League champions. You're playing the top goal scorers in Italy. You're going to be under the cosh for a lot of times in the game. You've got to suffer. You've got to see periods of pressure out, and Celtic done that. And a couple of times they looked dangerous on the break. So I think all in all, a fantastic performance from Celtic and a fantastic result, and it gives them that point away from home that we were all, can they get a point away from home? They've got it, and they've got some winnable games coming up at home.
Yeah, the manager himself keen to have a wee dig.
It gives them the confidence that you can defend against a top team. I said that. I'm not sure whether that was pragmatic enough for people tonight. I don't know, but we go out in every game to be structured and defend well. You know you're going to get pushed back. But I think the confidence that it gives you when you can defend against the very best teams with that level and that concentration, then it'll give them a huge boost.
he can't resist a wee thinly veiled dig. But can I just say something to you, Ruffy? Absolutely bomb on. Have all the digs you want, Brendan. If your team give you that performance, and I think we all accept there's that wee bit of luck, but Brendan, I think, more as a coach, actually realised they have to change the way they were playing, especially away from home. The point could be so big for them because I think, all have a feeling that Bruges and Young Boys are certainly the winnable ones at home.
Yeah, I think you have to give him credit. I mean, obviously coming off the back of that heavy defeat, he did take a hammering, and I thought quite rightly so. You know, you shouldn't be a team like Celtic lingering away and getting beat by that much, you know, and he never really changed the team, you know, personal. There was only one change. You know, there was only one change. The same guys who wouldn't get beat 7-1, so it's just a matter of looking at it and saying, right, the gap was too much between the defence and the midfield the last time. Let's close up. Let's make sure that we play to our strengths. And really, all he done was, as you said there, got the banks in front of the back four, you know, and said to them, right, you're going to go wide. And the only balls that are coming into the box are for a wide area. And I've got two centre-halves that will just head the ball all night. And that's all the two of them did. They just defended for their lives. Ali's right. They get a lucky break here and there. But you hopefully get that. And to come away, you know, with a point, he's got every right to have a go at whoever he wants to.
Yeah. Well, in the context of, I'm not quite sure I agree with you, Ruffy. In the context of the game, he got his tactics, you know, spot on, I thought. And I think he deserves credit for that. And I think you know, sometimes we live in this world where you offer criticism based on what you've just witnessed. And then, you know, people get a little bit touchy, a little bit sensitive. And then you've obviously got a fan base who, you know, clearly the more measured of them can see what went wrong. The ones who are what I call the absolute zealots will not take any criticism of their club. But you looked at what happened at Dortmund, you said it's wrong, and he was rightly criticised because in Europe, the Celtic fans want to see a manager who's been brought back to give them progression. This time around, I mean, even Brian's coming on there and saying, you know, he didn't bow to the pressure. He just did it quietly, which is fine. Nobody's suggesting, nobody's actually actively going out and saying, Brendan, you know, we want you to get battered just because that's the way the agenda is. It's nothing like that. It's, you call it as you see it, Ali, over the game. Dortmund was a nightmare. This one was first class. I don't even think there was a fault anywhere. You need luck in European competition.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think domestically Celtic have been so peerless, effectively. Like they've not had a lot of criticism. You know, and I think everyone enjoys garlands being thrown when it's going well, and people do bristle at criticism. It's natural, but I think it's never a personal criticism. It's simply an observation of what you've watched and reflections on it. I think too, sometimes we speak to managers after games when emotions are high and people are still very raw. If you think it must be difficult coming in to face questions on the back of a 7-1 defeat. I think your own pride, professional pride, is hurt, and you're coming into people that are probably less qualified than you when it comes to setting up and coaching and all the rest of it. So I think sometimes you can entirely understand why managers bristle at being asked questions and at criticism received. However, I thought you saw a very different style of play on Wednesday night. I thought it was different. And actually, when you look back, Brendan Rodgers done that at one point in his first time at Celtic too. He also done it at Leicester before with a 4-3-3 that was much deeper. I don't think he obviously doesn't like the word pragmatic. It's become a dirty word in some circles, but I definitely thought there was a much more measured approach to when you're going up against a better side, and a team that wins the Europa League is a better side than what Celtic were, free scoring in the Italian league. I thought it was sensible. I think Celtic deserve huge amounts of credit for the point that they got, and it should give them a bit of confidence now going into the Leipzig game, which comes next.
Yeah, well, listen, you only have to take a leaf out of Jimmy Talline's book and what they were able to do coming back after going 2-0 down against Celtic at Celtic Park the week before. We've seen it. When you come up against stronger opposition, then you have to readjust. It'll be interesting to hear what Stuart Kettlewell has to say a little later on in the show about Motherwell's tactics for the game on Sunday against Celtic. Just before we look ahead to all those fixtures Saturday and Sunday, here's the news.
Welcome to your Daily News Headlines, brought to you by Arnold Clark. I'm Patrick, and here's your top stories on the 25th of October. Rangers ran out 4-0 winners last night over Steaua Bucharest, and during the second half, Cyril Dessers ran off with an injury. And speaking after the game, Philippe Clement, well, he provided an update on his striker.
He lost sight, he could not see good anymore. He was quite emotional about it because he wanted to stay on the pitch, but he didn't see anything, so he ran off the pitch. What was a really strange moment for me.
And Hearts continued their 100% record in the Europa League last night with a 2-0 victory over Cypriot side Omonoia FC. For Neil Critchley, well, he's loving life at Harder Midlothian, and he was full of praise for an academy graduate in Adam Forrester.
Good temperament, not arrogance, humble. Wants to learn, wants to get better, and I thought he was give a top performance tonight for a young boy. I was so impressed with him.
And Motherwell take on Celtic this weekend at Fir Park in the Scottish Premiership. And speaking this morning, Stuart Kettlewell is confident his side can give it a real go against the league leaders.
Yeah, I believe he can have a go. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to, as a manager, to pick up some results against Celtic, and there's different ways of doing it. But
that's all of your headlines, brought to you by Arnold Clark.
Yeah, lots of football to look forward to at the weekend. Here's the fixtures for you. And if you're going to pick Saturday or Sunday for your favourite team, get out there and support Scottish football, because there are some really tasty games for us to look forward to. On the Saturday, Dundee against St Johnstone, Ross County, Kilmarnock, and Aberdeen against Dundee United, the new firm derby. It's been a while since I've used that phrase. It's a sellout at Pittodrie. Hibs against Hearts, the Edinburgh Derby on, I think that's actually, all those three games are on the Sunday. It just says the Saturday, but they're on the Sunday, and it's Hibs against Hearts, Motherwell against Celtic, and Rangers against St Mirren. So Saturdays and Sunday, 3 games over each week, and I think I'm looking at Aberdeen Dundee United and saying, fantastic sellout.
It's fantastic. I think
more flares, more things
flags,
going off, flags that Ruffy's taking up.
I think Pittodrie will be jumping on Saturday night for that one. I think an interesting time too. That's 5:30 kick-off, I think. Yeah, I think Aberdeen will be buoyant. I think the manner, not just in which they got a point at Celtic Park, but how they did it too, coming back from a couple of goals down. I think Dundee United have started the season fairly well too. I think it'll be a fantastic game. But I think Aberdeen suddenly look like a team full of confidence, belief, just building on what was a fairly kind start in terms of the fixture list. They've put down those foundations. This was always going to be the month that everyone was looking at to say, well, how do they fare when it starts to be cranked up a little bit, when the quality of opposition comes up a bit. So far, they've coped very well. Yeah, well, up at the Granite City, I think we're all worried in case our reporter Kobe Henderson spontaneously combusts at one point because he's watching an Aberdeen side still unbeaten since the start of the season, and he was getting the thoughts of the main man, Jimmy Tulleen, up at Pittodrie.
After overcoming last week's challenge against Celtic, a new obstacle in the face of Jim Goodwin's Dundee United side travelled to a packed-out Pittodrie to try and lay a glove on this seemingly unbeatable Aberdeen side. However, Jimmy Tulleen insists that Celtic game is well in the past.
How difficult it to come back 2 down and go out the second half and get this energy to the team, and how the players competing. That was so nice to see. But for us, that now is history, and now all focus this week has been for this game and only this game. So we have leave that behind, and now only focus how we can try to get the points tomorrow.
Aberdeen and Dundee United is one of Scotland's many rivalries, and Jimmy Tulleen has been reading up on the new firm derby.
I heard about the history and also about its sellout again. And it's nice to come back home to play a game in front of our supporters, and it's also a bit late kick-off, and this atmosphere and feeling is so nice.
I'll be at Pittodrie to keep you right up to date with the game. It's Aberdeen versus Dundee United. Kick-off is at 5:30.
Yeah, the coaster's looking good, by the way. He's always looking immaculate. And when he said they're Aberdeen unbeatable, I was just wearing him and saying, and by the way, all you guys in the West get it right up, yeah. He's eventually going to say it, Ruffy. This mob's just keep the whole bandwagon keeps on rolling.
It is, and we've all been speaking about October, you know, this will be the time, you know, obviously they came to Celtic last week, you know, and did what they had to do to get a point. But I think now they're into this game in particular as a game where the fans will be going along expecting them to win. Expecting them to win comfortably. I know Dundee United are on a wee bit of run, but of all the games that's coming up, this is probably the one that they're going to go along there. So it's a wee bit added pressure on the players to go to a game knowing that you're the favourites to win it.
Yeah, Kaiser's just said, bubble will burst soon, haven't played anyone yet, October will be a big month, now November, blah-de, blah-de, blah, and I'm going to give Kaiser...
Blah-de, blah-de, blah, 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 blah.
No, it's blah-de, blah-de, blah, and then somebody's nicked in after you. But Kaiser's heard all those gags before, because quite simply, I say more power to him, you know, get the tackety boots on and keep battering people, because this is great.
The Aberdeen fans, as I said, are on top of the world at the minute. You know, coming back from 2-0 down last week, you know, top of the league unbeaten. You know, they'll be disappointed they dropped 2 points last week. So I think that's the first time they've drew a game this year. I think they've won every game. So, no, listen, I think it's great for the game. It's great for Scottish football. You want teams up there, you know, challenging. You know, you want to go to teams going to Celtic Park and Ibrox and having a go and picking up points, because it makes the league more competitive. So, no, I fancy them again. I fancy them again on Saturday. I think that Dundee United have been fortunate the last couple of games. I think down at Kilmarnock, you know, Kilmarnock threw that away, and then last week, you know, Hibs getting a man sent off, and then goalkeeper selling the jerseys. So I fancy Aberdeen to keep their winning run going.
I can't see past them.
Me neither. I think when you've got momentum and confidence, it just counts for so much. I think it carries you through games. I'm not sure that they've been excellent in every game that they've played this season, but when winning becomes a habit, I think you start to find ways of winning, no matter which way it comes. And yeah, I fancy them again. I think I'm going to say 2-1.
2-1, Ruffy. I'm going to go more emphatic than that. I'm going to go 3-1 to the Dons.
Yeah, I'll go for the Dons as well. Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0. I know Dundee United come back for the been under the cosh, but I still think when the flags start going to Aberdeen, that'll be it.
You love flags, Ruffy, don't you?
Aberdeen, I like them in there.
Yeah.
Because everybody's got one.
Yeah.
Doesn't he like them at the golf? Never gives Neil them.
Yeah.
No, I think they will.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are you going?
Yeah, 3-0. 3-0 Aberdeen.
3-0?
A comfortable win for me.
Wow, brilliant. Okay, I think most of them will be absolutely delighted with that. Aberdeen have lost just one of the last 14 home league games against United, so I think all the odds, as I looked at all the stats there and I thought to myself, the odds are almost firmly in the Dandy Dons' favour. Just on that, and we will talk about Celtic and Rangers on the Sunday just shortly. Give us your view. What do you think of the chances of your team winning over the weekend of the Scottish Premiership? Dundee against St Johnstone, both had good wins last week. I'm not sure if Simo Valakari's got the permit to finally sit in the dugout, but this is an interesting game this time. Tony Docherty as well, I think, was delighted just to get that narrow win.
Yeah, he would have been a bit relieved, I think. Yeah, it's been a long time coming for Valakari too, to get the permit and just get the red tape sorted out and get in and get into the dugout. But yeah, I think it might be a draw at Dens Park at the weekend. I think just St Johnstone, both teams, I think, have had fairly inconsistent starts to the season, and recent performances all got a bit more positively. I think they'll cancel one another out on Saturday.
Okay, Ruffy, how do you see it going?
No, I'm going to go on Dundee. I think they'll be boosted by obviously that win with the bad run that they've been in. You know, I think they've got a lot of goal scorers in their team. You know, I'm taking that St Johnstone win last week as a one-off. You know, every team has one of these. I can't see it happening 2 weeks in a row, so I'm going to go for Dundee to win 2-0.
Yeah, interesting though, St Johnstone are winless in 6 Scottish Premiership meetings with Dundee. A draw on 3 occasions, lost on 3, and that was after a run of 5 in a row, winning the matches. But I can't see past Dundee. I've got Dundee 2-0.
Yeah, I think in the goals in the game, I think you've seen how positive St Johnstone were last week. You know, they played the 2 strikers and then Nicky Clark in behind them. You know, played really positive attacking football. I think they'll get goals in them. But I think in the goals in the game, I'll go for 3-2 to Dundee.
Yeah. Okay, you say that with a kind of a solemn face. Are you okay?
Yeah, I fancy 3-2 to Dundee.
Yeah, okay. Incidentally, by the way, full marks to you, Tam. You brought in your Ken mug. Hopefully you're going to bring it in on when is it? Next Friday?
Yes.
Because Ken's coming over from LA, Ali. And we thought we'd let a Dons fan in the studio to sit and gloat, providing it's all going according to plan, Ruffy.
Yeah, well, obviously it needs a win at the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheap dip at the door there.
And well, you're going to get bloated, by the way. They've heard it all before. And by the way, can I just say something, Ruffy? Apparently Ken's brought a present for you.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Maybe I should get something just...
I don't know what's the score with us two, by the way.
You're getting nothing.
You're getting absolutely diddly squat. Ross County, Kilmarnock. Ross County unbeaten in 7 Premiership home games against Killie. They've won 4 and drawn 3. Killie have won back-to-back league games, could win 3 in a row this season, which has been a long time since they've managed to do that.
Yeah, and after last week, you know, I think they'll be buoyant getting up there. I also think that Ross County are very difficult to beat at home. Celtic nearly found that to their cost a couple of weeks ago. So it's just all about can they get Ross County back on track again. They've certainly got players up front that'll cause them problems. So I'm going to sit on the fence in this one, and I'm going to go 1 each.
Ali?
Yeah, I think it might be a draw.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 1 each as well.
I'm going to go for Kelly to sneak it 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1 to me, for me as well. 3 wins in a row for Kelly.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks to so many of you for posting your messages as well. We absolutely, we're delighted that you have not only joined us, but you're hitting that subscribe button in great numbers. Subscribers going up and up. People consuming our programming and enjoying all the content that we're making. And of course, the one-to-one interviews and the reporting right across the whole of the week. I fully expect, I think the boys especially, maybe not your daughter Ali, but I think because you're such a hard worker, you'll probably just split the whole estate up with 35 million. How hard you work. It's unbelievable the shift you put in a week.
Oh, well, it is, yes.
Absolutely. How you manage to even run 5k escapes me with your schedule, which is unbelievable, Ruffy, to say the least.
That's why there's wine.
Yes, exactly. Before we get to the 3 games on the Sunday, quite a few people have said, wait a minute, what's the score here? You know, Tam's wearing his Maestro top. I've got my Maestro top on. Ruffy, you've got yours. Where is your Maestro top, Ali? Where is it?
It's in the washing.
Yes.
In the house, it's got 8 in the back.
Yeah, I'll have to go and look it out.
Yeah, if you don't mind, because obviously the reason why I'm saying that is because our team are really cranking it up. I'm really looking forward to your commercial, Ruffy, because you reading a script is just a joy in itself.
Well, I'm happy.
Yes.
I've got advance warning. I'll be taking my 2 lines home to rehearse on Monday.
Tam, you seem to take it in your stride always. Absolutely, which is why I'm just prepping you, because if you are wondering, what am I going to get my favourite person, the person that I love for Christmas, then it's perfect, because we're going to be showing you a commercial not too far away in the distant future of this programme, where Kerry and Patrick have really stepped up to the plate. It's absolutely magnificent, and it'll give you the perfect gift for Christmas if you're thinking about it. So we're just once I get the all clear from it, we'll let you see the commercial, which will give you the perfect Christmas present for the one you love. And I think, to be fair, Ruffy, not only these Maestro tops, but the Maestro tops are great for a wee bit of golf, wee bit of training, wee bit of 5k running, and then a wee bit of leisure wear as well.
Yeah, you can use them in all these sports, and they're good quality as well, different colours. Obviously, we've got green and black and have we got another colour?
Yeah, we've got a red, white and blue one that Ali sometimes wears in the Clarkson area.
Makes me run faster.
Yeah, bloody right it does. Anyway, here is Patrick and Kerry at their best.
Patrick, you always have good ideas for gifts. What do you suggest I get someone who's tough to buy for at Christmas?
Kerry, that's easy. This year I'm heading to the PLZ Soccer Shop. They've got Maestro training tops, perfect for golf and leisure. And what would be better than getting a Legends t-shirt on Christmas morning?
Patrick, you're a legend. PLZ Soccer Shop, here I come.
Yeah, that is fantastic. You've got to give them that. That is fantastic, isn't it?
And don't give up a day job.
Well, tough to tell you, but I didn't know that Patrick and Kerry had a house together, but that looks fantastic, that house.
Patrick was like Ronald de Villiers for doing the fat there.
That was magnificent, Ruffy. You can get Legends t-shirts as well.
Standard, that's the standard we've got to put up with. Tom
Yep.
and Monday,
Yep.
up our game.
Absolutely magnificent. The acting was top drawer there, Ali.
It's Oscars incoming.
I just hope you can reach that same level. Anyway,
Like I'm busy.
there's a there's a wee link there if you want to get the ideal Christmas present. There's so much to look forward to in the store. Okay, to the Edinburgh Derby. Really looking forward to it. Heading through to Edinburgh. Obviously, Ruffy, from your own point of view, because you were paid as a goalkeeper for Hibs, you had to turn up for the Edinburgh Derby. And unless there's a starter, a main course and a suite, you no longer go to the Edinburgh Derby.
I go if I'm invited, as I am on occasions, to go along there, to do whatever, a draw or something like that. But this weekend, if you're a Hibs supporter or a Hibs player, you'll be going there with intrepidation. Is that a good word?
Yeah.
I think you'll be going there, Hearts of... can't spell it, by the way. But Hearts picking up that wee bit of form there. You know, Hibs losing goals badly. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough 90 minutes.
Are you in fear?
I'm in fear, but sometimes when you're in fear, sometimes it doesn't happen. But it's up to the players, the Hibs players, to sort of get their act together and go there, you know, and fight for the supporters. They're at home, you know, they should be up for it. You know, Hearts should be on the back foot. But stranger things have happened in games, so I think the best they could get would be a draw.
Yeah, but we're not going to get your overall prediction. We're going to get that in a couple of seconds, Ruffy, because, strangely enough, Hibs head coach David Gray's reminded his players that they are paid to win football matches. Well, that's all well and good, but right now they're skint.
Yeah, they are. Listen, it's an enormous game for David Gray. I think when you look at the league table, it doesn't make pretty reading for Hibs. I think there's been investment in the club. Players have signed, the budget, size of the club, cannot be bottom of the league. And you've got your big rivals directly above you in second bottom, coming in form. Hibs need to cut out the individual errors. It's as simple as that. They need to keep 11 men apart. Last two games, they've got their man sent off, in a position where they were getting points. So they need to, every 11 players, the four or five subs that come on, everybody focused, concentrated, no individual errors, and I think they can beat Hearts. And I think, I think if they turn up and play well on the day, I don't think Hearts are unbeatable. They're second bottom for a reason. They've picked up a couple of good results, but they've had, as poor a start of the season as Hibs have had. So, as someone who's played in a winning team in an Edinburgh Derby, I'm going to go for 2-1 to Hibs.
You genuinely think Hibs will win this one 2-1?
Yeah, I think Hibs can win the game. I've always backed Hibs against Hearts. I'll go 2-1.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily...
No, I do. I think Hibs can win, Peter. Honestly, I think they've been unfortunate in recent games where individual errors. A goalkeeper, whether he plays, I don't know if he'll change him.
Can I ask you this? Have you been in a situation before where, and I'm not just saying this and having a go at you because we all have our own opinion on it. Have you been on the programme before in an Edinburgh Derby where Hearts were a stick on and you've said Hearts to win?
No, I have. I have. But honestly, I don't think there's a lot between the teams. I think that Hibs have got quality in the forward areas. They need to defend better, and if they do that, they can win the game. They're at home. They've got the home advantage, and I think they can win 2-1.
Ali, what do you think?
No, I just don't see it at all. I think when it comes to derbies, you hear it said often that the form book goes out the window and it's an isolated game and a one-off encounter. I tend to think that if actually you study the evidence, it's always the form team who comes out on top pretty much. And I think right now what you would say is that Hearts have had a huge lift. The new manager's come in, he's changed things around and had an immediate return on it. Really strong win last weekend over St Mirren, 4-0, a big win again last night. I think they go there with a bit between their teeth. They looked aggressive last night, full of energy. I think they look confident. Hibs, by contrast, for me, look inhibited. They look very tentative. They're making cheap mistakes, conceding goals that must have David Gray so frustrated. Just the ease with which teams are finding joy in them. And I think when you go into a derby, when you're in that kind of frame of mind, I think it can prove to be particularly costly. I think I can't see past Hibs on Sunday.
Hearts, you mean?
I can't see past Hearts on Sunday.
I'm in your camp, by the way, on this one. Although Hugh Scott has said, Tam, if they lose on Sunday, Hibs, will David Gray be saying, please forgive me, or will he just sail away? And that's Hugh really trying to preempt any of the usual crap that you come out with. But the only problem is, Hugh, Tam doesn't have the David Gray album because it's too cultured. He has rave songs, that's it. But Monda Hibbies, Pretty Polly says 2-0. Kaiser says it's a basement brawl. But with all due respect, I'm with you, Ali, on this. I just cannot see past a totally different Hearts side.
Me too.
And I've seen nothing that suggests that this side, it's almost as if they are replicating Hearts under Stevie Naismith, which is whether they don't get the message or whether the manager can't get that spark out of them. I fear for it, you know. Is it the straw that breaks the camel's back if they don't win?
It depends on the result. I think that if Hearts come and turn Hibs over 3-0 or a heavy defeat, I think he possibly lose his job. I think that it's incredible to say that after 8-9 games. And I genuinely think if you look, Hibs have conceded so many goals in the last 5-10 minutes of games. I mean, they should be sitting in the top 6 at the minute. They can't see out a game, which is incredibly frustrating. And if Hibs go into this game 1-0 up or 2-1 up with 10 minutes to go, the Hibs fans will be sitting thinking Hearts will score. It's just seeped into that mentality now with Hibs. But I still think they've got the quality within that squad to win the game. I don't think there's much between the teams. There's not much between in the league table, but they have to defend properly, and the goalkeeper has to have a good game and they need to keep 11 men in the park.
Yeah, okay. Rangers against St Mirren. This game itself, apart from off the back of that good win for Rangers in Europe, real confidence booster for them. They're at home again in front of the fans, and the only thing is they might not have Dessers. It's a strange thing in that game against Bucharest, Ruffy.
Yeah, it certainly is.
His eye injury.
Yeah, I'm led to believe after the game he was still bouncing off the dressing room. He didn't really know where he was. He couldn't see anything. Which was a horrible experience.
Yeah. Alison was looking there as if to say, I can't remember reading that part of it.
Did anybody take him into the dressing room?
No, I think he just walked off the park. And I think probably for the boy himself, who I find quite an engaging character, Cyril Dessers. He's got that kind of a real positivity. He treats the praise and the criticism at that same level of disdain. He tries to focus on his job. He's received a fair bit of criticism, but I think probably walking off the park was more out of frustration, Ali.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly how I would have taken it too. And I think Philip Clement's comments after the game alluded to that, just frustration at not being able to get on the score sheet, not being able to score, and then obviously in a bit of discomfort with the injury. I'm not sure if maybe someone's just their nails maybe just caught his eye and he's temporarily lost his vision, or his vision has been blurred. But clearly it was quite odd. The circumstances of it are very unusual to just go off the pitch. I think it was straight after Rangers scored the third goal of the night, and then just to go off, and then Rangers were scrambling to get a substitute on in time, and I think he looked upset going off the pitch, which I don't think it's pleasant to see at all. I think the times that we've spoken to him, and you only ever get a glimpse of someone for a few minutes in an interview, but I think he comes across very well. He's an affable character, he's very positive, very likeable, very chatty, quite honest. I think he's spoken well about receiving criticism and about his own frustrations at times at missing chances. I think sometimes you forget players are human.
Yeah.
It penetrates sometimes when you're on the end of a fair bit of criticism. So I think what you saw was a reaction to that last night, and maybe just a very, very personal reaction at a point where he felt frustrated at not being able to go and maybe make his mark on that game.
Yeah, I quite like St Mirren's board's attitude. 1 win in 11 for Stephen Robinson. He's signed a new deal to 2027.
Yeah, he was probably right in there right away and getting that signed before they've obviously Rangers away at the weekend, but yeah, disappointing. I think start of the season from St Mirren. I think they started the season really well, strongly. A couple of good wins in Europe. Obviously beating Hibs in the first game of the season as well, comfortably 3-0. But as you said, just looking at there, 1-1 and 10, it's a really poor run they're on. And I don't see them getting into Ibrox. I think that Rangers are a different animal at home, and I think they'll win the game. But I think he deserves his new contract. I think if you look over his whole body of work, he's thoroughly deserving of the new contract. And I'm glad that the St Mirren board have still got the faith in him, because the fans definitely have.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, he's the type of manager who'll not be thinking what Rangers have done in midweek. He'll just be thinking about what St Mirren can do.
I know they've got talented boys. You know, you look throughout their squad and throughout their team, they're very, very talented. They've got resources beyond our dreams. So we expect a really, really tough game, of course. You know, both teams coming into it maybe not in the best form, but you know, we believe we can get a result. We always believe we can get a result, and we want to put a performance on it reflects that belief. And as I solely say, I'm not worrying about Rangers. You know, I'm worrying about our performance and making sure we get a reaction to last Saturday.
He's one of the most likeable managers in the whole division, Ruffy.
Yeah, and they wouldn't have expected to be in this position after last year. You know, a breath of fresh air. Last year up there, top 6, you know, playing good football, scoring good goals, but this year it hasn't happened for them. I don't think it will happen at the weekend. I think if anybody saw that game at Hearts, you could see his reaction after the game. The goals that they lost, they were so poor. And if they go to Ibrox at the weekend and do similar, I think again they'll be on the end of a 3 or 4-0 defeat.
I'm just wondering what's missing, Ali.
Yeah, I think at the start of the season maybe just found it difficult to juggle the demands of the European games in with domestic commitments when you don't have a huge squad. I had a few injuries too, but yeah, I think it's they look a shadow at times of the team that you saw across recent seasons where they had the back-to-back top 6 finishes. I do think they have enough to get themselves out the bit. I don't think they'll do anything at Ibrox tomorrow. I think Rangers will win the game and win it fairly comfortably, but those aren't the games that he'll be judged on or that St Mirren's season will be based. It's on what he does and the teams round about them. So I think you'll be keen to maybe just build on a sequence of results now before the next international break.
Yeah, and that final game that takes place on Sunday, Motherwell against Celtic. And again, Stuart Kettlewell, I think, as ever, full of praise for what Brendan Rodgers and his Celtic side achieved in midweek with that hard-fought draw. I wonder if he'll take a leaf out of his book.
The first place you have to start is have that defensive stability, which I think that we've had a lot of against Celtic. You referenced the European game the other night. I thought they were fantastic in that front. I thought Celtic were excellent playing against, in my opinion, one of Europe's top sides. And I thought you saw a completely different side to them. I envisage that the game will look and feel a wee bit different come Sunday. But you know that they've got threats from every area of the pitch. We need to prepare for that. But I stress it again, I have to try and make sure that the players have that confidence and belief that when we have our spells on the ball, when we attack their half of the pitch, that we do it with a structure, we do it with a plan, but most importantly, we do it with a confidence.
Yeah, Motherwell had a great season so far.
Yeah, disappointing result last week, Peter. I think you know, coming back from an international break, you know, they've put in a poor performance, but I think they'll give Celtic a real test. You've seen it last season. You know, I think was it Mattarelli scored in about the 165th minute or something like that. It was, yeah. I mean, it was the latest, one of the latest goals that Celtic have scored, and I think Motherwell again will give them a tough game. I think Celtic put so much into that game during the week. You know, defensively, the output of energy. You know, I think Brendan will try and make some changes, but I think if you're a Motherwell player, Motherwell support, you think you're maybe getting Celtic at the right time, coming back from a really tough away game. So I think Celtic will win the game, but I don't think they'll run over the top of Motherwell. I don't think they rarely do it at Fir Park, and I'll go for maybe a late winner again, 2-1 to Celtic.
Yeah, Ali, there's nothing worse for fellow journalists, if the match goes to the 165th minute, as Tom has suggested there, that's a rewrite 12 times, Ali.
Yeah, you can live with that on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon. It's an 8 o'clock midweek kick-off where that gives you sleepless nights. But yeah, I think
he's had a good start to the season, Ali.
I think
but without his goal scorers. I mean, Tony Watt's struggling to get into the team.
I think it's been a reasonable. I think he'll be reasonably happy with the start to the season. Obviously, last weekend aside, but I think Motherwell will make it tough for Celtic. I think they will be organised. I think they'll be effective. I think they'll look to try and contain Celtic. It's plans that worked at points at Fir Park last season and in the season before too. I think I seem to remember another late winner at Fir Park, but I think Celtic should be strong enough. You would expect Celtic to prevail, but again, I think it will be a single goal. I think it will be a 1-0, a 2-1. I
did remind them, you know, I don't know if I'm actually turning into the prophet of doom at press conferences, but I usually start off in a negative. They haven't won against Celtic since 2015. It's quite a long time, you know.
They won at Celtic Park when Ronnie Dyla was Celtic manager. 1 December, that might actually be.
Yeah, Mark McGee was the manager.
Game 2015. It's an extraordinary run. However, I think when you look at stats like that, I think you could be spooked by it. On the other hand, you're saying, well, at some point it has to end. At some point you have to go and you'll be due a turn. Why not this weekend?
December 2015. Well done, Ali. That's why you're here.
Ruin your Christmas.
Hey?
I seem to remember Keith Lasley in that game was quite instrumental. But
is that right?
I
don't want a complete match report, Ali. You've done well nailing
always remember the intros, but not much more than that.
Okay, Ruffy. I love Fir Park for those games. You know, Motherwell against Rangers, Motherwell against Celtic. I think it's another one of those grounds that has 2 elements that I love, Ruffy. Great atmosphere, buzzing, flags, keeps you happy. Another element is I think Fir Park usually is a great pitch for playing football.
Well, it is now. It's absolutely immaculate. And the good thing I like about it is they give the visiting supporters the whole stand, don't they? Behind the goals. You know, and if you look closely, I think we've got advertising behind one of the goals, which some people might not notice, but now I've mentioned it, they'll be looking out for it.
Yeah, absolutely. We decided just to position it, Ruffy, right at the point where we knew most of the broadcasters couldn't miss it. So it's right behind each goal as soon as it hits the back of the net. Thanks to so many of you for offering your predictions on the games over the weekend. I just think with Brendan Rodgers' side, it's a relentless march at the moment domestically where nobody's been able to really lay a glove on them until obviously I thought Aberdeen were magnificent second half last week.
Ross County to a certain extent.
Yeah, possibly.
Well, the last 2 games.
Yeah. What about even, I would go as far as to say maybe even Falkirk, but they still overcome them in the end. That's my point on it, you know. Aberdeen for me was just, it was like a breath of fresh air. That sounds like John. It's like a John Gagan gag, but nevertheless, it wasn't it?
Well, we've spoke about it, you know, on numerous occasions throughout the season. It's if you're the opposition manager and you're doing particularly well, and you get 20 minutes to go, and the first thing you're looking at is the Celtic bench, because you know there's 5 of them going to get thrown on in a minute, and they're going to be quality players. They're going to be fit. They're going to be eager to impress the Celtic manager, so that's a problem for any manager. But I think if Motherwell decide to make it difficult for Celtic, I think they will. But I think if they try and open up, I think Celtic will just pick them off.
Yeah, what's your prediction, Ruffy?
2-0 Celtic.
2-1.
2-1 Celtic.
2-1 Celtic, okay. I'm going to go 3-0. I just think they are, going through the gears at the moment. Although I have to say one thing, Ali, what a big week coming up for Motherwell with that semi-final as well.
Yeah, the next weekend, the Hampden games. Celtic Aberdeen on the Saturday again. I think everyone will be hoping we get the same kind of display that we saw at Celtic Park last weekend, and then it's Motherwell Rangers on the Sunday. So yeah, I think teams will want to be going into them on the back of good form, on the back of good displays, elements of performances that they can draw out and take into those ones.
Yeah, and you just wonder, Ruffy, if you were going to make the wee trip up to Pittodrie for Aberdeen Rangers, there'll be a lot of flags that night.
Certainly will be, and we all keep saying, that October month, that this particular game will not decide, you know, first, second and third, but I think if Aberdeen were to win it, a lot of Aberdeen supporters will start to believe that this could be the year to split the Old Firm.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Thought I'd give a mention to all the nurses at Hare Myers. Ruffy, they were in there and they were asking if I would give them a mention the other day, and if you could give them a wave, because obviously from their point of view, you're the housewife's favourite.
Yeah, I've been in Hare Myers.
Just to the main camera.
Yeah, I've been in Hare Myers a couple of occasions throughout the year. The service has been absolutely magnificent. I think most of the nurses are very attractive and very helping. So, thanks very much. Oh my God,
By the
man.
way, can I just
There's
say...
dirty grandpa, man.
just say...
What's going on with him?
Can I just say...
Oh, I beat him with a 21-year-old.
At the minute when he does the wave, right, but just prior to that, just prior to his line, I just thought he was just going to say, well done, they do a fantastic job. But he just had to go over the line, and Ali's face went, Mother of God Almighty. Fantastic, Ali. Honestly, there's a telepathy that I can see between you and I, which is unbelievable. Listen, I don't know about you, Tam, perfect. The only problem I have with the derby is I get ready to go to it on Sunday. No surprise, I'm going to go Hibs against Hearts. With Kerry, we're going to go through there. But it's a 12 o'clock kickoff. And that's the only thing. There's not too many. I mean, the great thing, Ruffy, and you won't be aware of this, Ruffy, but in the years that I lived in Edinburgh, you could absolutely go out 24/7 and you could head out, Tam, have a right good night, and then go to the nightclub, and then there was another club that took you through to 6 in the morning, and then you go down to Leith and there was a pub that was open at 6 in the morning, and that would take you through again, and if you had the ability, you could charge on for another day, Ruffy.
That was similar to our Hibs team.
Yeah.
That's why we never won any games.
That's exactly it. It's a fantastic thing. The only thing is I was hoping to maybe nip along to Giuliano's for a wee bit of lunch.
Nice in there.
But you're just looking, you're saying...
A breakfast maybe?
We need to go for a wee bit of
We
breakfast
had
somewhere.
a New Year's Day game, Hibs versus Hearts, and obviously New Year's Eve. And I stayed in a wee village just outside Edinburgh, and the boy was having a party in his house, and he says, "Do you want to come?" It's just the night before a game. I can't go to a party, but I was persuaded to go under the influence of no drinking at all, which I did do.
Yeah, did you tell the gaffer?
And I sat there, I told Pat, and I sat there, I think, after the bells to 1 o'clock watching everybody getting absolutely hammered, you know, and it ruined my whole New Year. And I got up the next day for the Hibs Hearts game and it got postponed.
The weather?
Yeah, nothing worse, is there, Ruffy? It's your worst nightmare. Anyway, looking forward to it.
Good night in the first.
Yeah, well, you better believe he made up for it. Absolutely. Listen, enjoy your football over the weekend if you do get a chance. If you're looking for that ideal Christmas present, we've got them all here. We've got them on. Ali's is in the wash, which is just at the moment, hopefully her husband will address that situation and get it all set for next week. You see what I did there, Ali? You see? I made sure that everybody... you see? Happy with that? Anyway, good luck, Fred. Apart from anything else, keep tuned to all our social media channels, because right across all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and of course TikTok, you can gather all the unique video content. If you download the app, you'll get all the breaking news at your fingertips. Our reporters will be at the key games over the weekend, bringing you the story as it unfolds and getting the reaction from managers and players as well. I hope you enjoy your football, and hopefully you'll keep it locked to PLZ Soccer's YouTube channel as well. Hit the subscribe button if you can. From Ali, from Ruffy, from Tam, and from myself, Peter Martin, thanks to you for listening and watching.